Media Sports Pay-Per-View. For the hundreds here in attendance at Bull Shooters in Phoenix, Arizona, welcome to Golden Cobra Promotions presents Bullseye Bash Clash. Best in the West K1 Kickboxing. Sanctioned and governed under the authorization of WAKO USA Kickboxing. We have 10 fights scheduled for your entertainment, and please remember, your co-main and your main event will be competing for the coveted Golden Cobra titles. In attendance and ringside, your sanctioning body, promoter Richard Williams, WAKO Arizona representative Sandy Williams, your master referee, the third man inside the ring, ensuring the safety of fighters, Tom Henniger. And your judges, sitting ringside, ensuring a just scorecard, shall we go the distance for each bout. Patrick Lingenfelter, Mark Jodoy, Mel Stevenson. Inspectors, Jeff Vines, Megan Snelling, Jake Dykmeyer, and Gustavo Lindsay. Your event physician, Dr. Robin McDougall. And of course, we can't forget the man behind the audio entertainment. Let's make some noise for DJ Mambo. And our timekeeper, of course, Keith Greenberg. In proper American fashion, without further ado, please rise to your feet, remove your hats, and join us for the playing of our nation's anthem. Fight fans, your ring and your officials are ready. Your fighters and their cornermen are ready. Fight fans, are you ready? It's time to welcome our first matchup of the evening. To the blue corner, Aiden Torres.
Aiden Torres fighting out of AZ Dragons in Levine, Arizona. This will be his debut. I didn't have a chance to interview him before the fight, so I didn't get any information on him other than he's a hard worker, he's tenacious, and he's about to come out and try to make a statement. Tonight, all fights are under K1 kickboxing rules.
let's welcome his opponent to the red corner, Dustin Shepard.
Dustin Shepard, 15 years old, debuting from Ethos Martial Arts in Queen Creek. Dustin's been training about 3 years exclusively in kickboxing, and so far he doesn't have any goals to be a professional fighter. He just wants to keep working hard and see what happens. Shout out to Ethos Martial Arts and his family. Dustin weighed in at 145 pounds versus Aiden Torres, who weighed in at 150 officially.
Introducing your first matchup of the evening, scheduled 3 2-minute rounds in the junior 150-pound division. Of course, your referee, Tom Henniger. Your warrior to my left out of the blue corner. He wears the brown and black trunks, standing 6 feet even, 149.6 pounds on the scale. He has an even experience record, 1 win, 1 loss. He represents AZ Dragons MMA out of Phoenix, Arizona, USA, Aiden Torres. His opponent stands across the ring out of the red corner. He wears the Arizona color flag trunks. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, 149.6 amateur pounds on the scale. This is his debut into the Golden Cobra ring. He represents Ethos Martial Arts by way of Queen Creek, Arizona, USA. Make some noise for Dustin Shepard.
Aiden Torres 1-1. Dustin Shepard with a debut. We'll see how the experience plays out. For those of you who are not aware, as you see on the gloves, you have the white contact surface on the knuckle. That is the scoring surface. If you score a clean blow, unblocked, undeflected, it will count as a point. Aside from that, if you do not have clean blows, those points do not count. So it's very difficult to score points in this event. Both young men coming right out banging. That's what you like to see. Aiden Torres, a little bit more in control, a little bit more experienced. Dustin in some trouble in the corner, but he's going to be all right. Referee's going to break it up. Standing 8 count right off the top. With this division, 2 standing 8 counts will be the end of the fight. Standing 8 count early for Dustin is not a good sign, but maybe it's just some nerves. He's got to break through and get going. Good exchange here as they stand in the pocket and just change fire. Dustin definitely knows he needs to come back. A standing 8 count only counts for points, but if he gets another one here, that could be the end of it. And we do have a second standing 8 count. That rule is specifically for minors. It's to protect them. So 2 standing 8 counts, that ends the fight. It's a disappointing end to the debut of Dustin Shepard, but sometimes you got to have that happen. That way you can rebound and come back stronger. The official decision.
Hello. Hello, hello. That was fast. I agree with you.
Needs to call a stoppage to this bout due to a 2 knockdown rule for your winner. Out of the blue corner.
Nubia, boxing. Yeah, you're right. Good fighting spirit.
You hate to see it end that way, but the rules in
Yep.
place to protect the fighters. These young kids are, they're learning, they're coming up, they got a bright future ahead of them, and there's no need for them to take unnecessary damage at such a young age.
Fight fans, are you ready for some more action? You better make some noise. Let's welcome our second matchup of the evening. To the blue corner,
Isaac Maduros just turned 21, and he's making his debut right now. He's known as the Lion of God, and he studied Taekwondo and wrestling since he was 7
Probably
years
got like
old. He's looking forward to making his debut today and showing what he's made of.
maybe 5 more matches.
Fighting out of Peterson's Grapplers in Valencia, California. Shout out to his mom, Sugarfoot, his coach, and of course Jesus.
This event is actually it's not international like some of the other ones that I was playing. They're international. This one is mostly Arizona versus California.
Isaac says his favorite hobby is making memories with his friends and his family. Isaac's looking forward to making a memory today, hoping he can get the knockout in front of all of his friends.
Shout out to William Sanders. Appreciate you. And Nubia Boxing Fitness just for jumping in the chats. If you're not following, go ahead and like and follow us on Flash Media Sports. We're a veteran operated and owned company.
And now, let's welcome his opponent to the red corner, Jerry Lara.
I wasn't able to catch up with Jerry Lara before the show today. I know he's at a Yuma top team in Arizona. He weighed in at 130 pounds. Aside from that, I don't have a lot of information, so I'm looking forward to learning about him today, same as you.
After this kickboxing events, we're going to play some USA amateur boxing
do not have their gloves
from
on
Phoenix, Arizona.
The inspectors check their wraps and their gloves, then they glove.
Then we might change it up from combat sports and play some football. If you guys have any ideas what sports should be streamed that aren't being streamed, even if it's in your area, drop it in the chat. I mean, we are mobile, we're remote, we're all over. We've gone as far as Thailand, Mexico, we're all over the United States. So if there's sports that aren't being streamed and you think that they should be getting streamed or should be getting seen, let us know. We're trying to grow and expand and do something a little different and be gateway for the lower level sports up to big time. Trying to get like these smaller like amateurs and semi-pro people just looks that they probably wouldn't get because the funding's not there for broadcast and production.
Standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, 127.1 pounds on the scale. This is his debut into the Golden Cobra ring. He represents Peterson's Grapplers by way of Santa Clarita, California. Introducing Isaac, the Lion of God, McNeel. His opponent, stands across the ring out of the red corner. He wears the black trunks, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall. 126 pounds on the scale. He brings an amateur record, 0 wins, opposite only 1 defeat. He represents Yuma Top Team by way of Yuma, Arizona, USA. Make some noise for Jerry Lara.
Jerry Lara obviously looking to even his record today, taking advantage of the debuter, Isaac Maduros. Southpaw versus Orthodox, classic matchup. Isaac coming out early with the kicks, big right hand. Lara takes the center of the ring, but Isaac is definitely more aggressive. Good movement by Isaac. In and out, moving around, avoiding punches. He's got his hands to his side, which is extremely dangerous, but we'll see if Lara can take advantage of that. Timeout for an equipment issue. AKA a wardrobe malfunction. Now, these bouts are scored on a point system, so it's not as much about damage or heavy hitting as it is about scoring clean points. And clean points are only scored when you land a blow that is not deflected or blocked in any way. Isaac stays on the outside, looking to find his way. Lara staying inside in the center of the ring, staying in control, trying to pick his shots. We have another timeout for an equipment issue. This could potentially cost the fighter a point, and if it goes on too long, it may even cost him the match. For those of you who don't know, in this particular sport, K1, you're not allowed to catch kicks, which is what the referee was just warning Isaac about right now. Also, this is a K1, which means one knee. So when a fighter clinches, they can only deliver one knee before they have to let go again. Big left hand delivered by Isaac. Nice exchange at the end of the round. Good fireworks. Way to end it. Way to end it. The second round, I'd like to see Isaac use a little bit more of that taekwondo and get active with the legs, but you got to use the boxing to open up those kicks. Lara needs to stay in control, but I don't think he's active enough. In order to score points, you got to get active, you got to start throwing down. So ring generalship doesn't matter as much here. Nice even exchanges back and forth. I still think Jerry needs to get busier. We have another equipment issue, this time with Jerry. Might have to tape those pads up in the future fighters. Nice left hand. That's a nice clean connect. That one definitely scores. Another 1-2 combination. Oh, we have a head kick. This is going to be a standing 8 count. We'll see if he can recover. He looks a little bit wobbly. Isaac's got the cobwebs right now. Jerry smart. He's going to come out aggressive and try to land again. Having those hands down is the key to why that head kick lands easily. Looks like he's found that. He needs to put pressure on with his hands and try to land that kick again. Isaac's not going to walk away, though. He needs to get his hands up. It's a good spinning back fist. It did not land clean. Jerry's looking for that head kick. Isaac really needs to get his hands up. Right, that was a good, exciting round. I don't know who won it on points, but by look. Round 3. Let's see who the aggressor is going to be here. Jerry definitely needs to move forward and take control. He's got to build off his momentum from the last round. Isaac might still be a little bit shaken up, but he looks like he's okay. Those hands are so low. That looked like a stumble, not a wobble. Another timeout, another equipment malfunction. The referee's being extremely lenient. Isaac's definitely the more active fighter, but he's not really landing clean. He's got a few nice shots. I think Jerry really just needs to start pumping the jab and stay moving forward. He's got to build off the momentum from the last round. He's got to accumulate points because I don't think he's throwing enough to score the points to win this fight, even though he got that 8 count. There's got to be active jab right now while they're in close. He's got to keep it pumping. He's got to keep moving, but he's just not. He's moving in. He's throwing one shot and a little bit of a kick. He's not doing enough, in my opinion, to take the round. Isaac is more aggressive. He's more active. He's throwing wild, but he's giving himself more opportunity to score points. Got him in the corner. You got to work. You got to work. You see some fatigue on Isaac's face. Looks like Jerry's fading a little bit too. Those body kicks didn't land clean. They're not going to score. And this is exactly how you have to finish the round. Landing clean punches, score the points at the end, and hope you get the numbers. That was a good all-around fight by both men. Isaac showed his heart by staying in tough. And, you know, Jerry looked good, but I don't think he looked active enough. I'm calling this one for blue, but we'll see how the judges saw it. Scorecards are in. We're going to turn it back over to ring announcer Jeff Way. If he can get into the ring.
Fight fans, you better make some damn noise for these warriors. We took a close look at the scorecards. According to your judges, you're winning by split decision. Out of the blue corner,
I called that one.
the Lion of God, Maduros.
I called that one. That was an excellent matchup, but as I said, Isaac was just busier, gave himself more opportunity to score points, and you know, Jerry sat back and he played more of a patient game, and in this particular event, that doesn't really work. You've got to be aggressive. You've got to give your opportunity to score points. If you don't throw the punches, you can't score the points.
I want to give you a couple minutes on the microphone. You earned that trophy. Both left everything in this ring. Nothing left undone. How does this one feel?
I have to give everything I had, everything I fought for my mom and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without them too, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to fight. I wouldn't have the courage to fight. God makes me a lion in here, and forever I will be known as the Lion of God.
Let's do it one more time for Isaac. Great job, young man. Wow, fight fans, that was just the second fight of our scheduled 10 bouts tonight. And remember, we have a co-main and a main event where the coveted Golden Cobra titles are up for grabs. And also remember, we have 2 female fighters from Lara in the ring scene. So stick around, tell your friends, tell your family. Remember, we are live on Flash Media Sports pay-per-view. Nobody cares about Jake Paul and all that kind of stuff. He can't wear this suit. All right, it's time to welcome our next matchup. Are you guys ready to make some noise? Please make some noise! To the blue corner, Anthony Dorya.
Anthony Dorya, 19 years old, making his debut from Peterson's Grapplers in Valencia, California. He's been training kickboxing and karate for about 6 years. and he wants to make the U.S. national team and eventually go pro. He wants to send a shout out to his family and everybody who supports him. And despite his special dedication to his brother Andrew, this one's for you.
And now let's welcome his opponent to the red corner, George Sheamus.
George Sheamus is 20 years old with a 1-0 record. His nickname is Namura, which means lion in Assyrian. That's his native language. He fights out of Two Knuckles Gym in Yuma, Arizona. He's been training kickboxing for about 3 years. He's been playing soccer his whole life as a hobby. He definitely wants to be a professional fighter, and he wants to send a shout out to God, his team at Two Knuckles, his family, and his friends. Talking to both these young men earlier, I feel like this is going to be a very exciting fight. They both seem very intense, very focused, and very ready to go. I really like these guys. They were personable, they were friendly, and they really present themselves well. So I'm looking forward for them to make a good showing tonight.
Introducing your third bout of the evening, scheduled 3 two-minute rounds in the 150-pound men's division. Of course, your referee, Tom Henniger. Introducing first, your warrior sergeant, my left, head of the blue corner. He wears the purple and black trunks at 5 feet, 8 inches tall, 146.1 pounds on the scale. This is his debut into the Golden Cobra ring. Representing Peterson's Grapplers by way of Santa Clarita, California, USA, introducing Anthony Dorya. The adversary across the ring, his opponent out of the red corner, wearing the black and red trunks, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 149.6 pounds on the scale, undefeated with 1 victory. He represents Two Knuckle Sports by way of Surprise, Arizona, USA, introducing George Sheamus.
For those of you who aren't aware of the rules, there are no elbows. There are only knees to the body. When you clinch another fighter, you're only allowed 1 strike before you have to release. There's no catching of kicks. Boxing heavy in this style is very important to score points. And 10-ounce gloves are a standard no matter what the weight class. Nice hook kick to the face. So we got heavy kicks from Dorya early. He needs to set him up with his hands, though, because they're not really landing effective. I apologize. Dorya continuing to lay those kicks in there. He needs to come up with a 1-2, couple of jabs, and then throw those kicks, get those hands distracted. Right now he's got choms on his heels, and he's not really throwing anything back. An active jab is going to help slow those kicks down, but Right now, Dorya is in control. All of those kicks are landing clean. George is going to have to take a chance. His hands are not active at all. He's chasing Dorya around, but if your hands aren't active, you're just walking into strikes. Dorya is taking advantage. His kicks are a little bit telegraphed. He definitely needs to lead them in with his hands. Throw the hands to the head, get the defender's hands up high, then throw those kicks low to the body. I feel like George kind of gave that round away. I think Anthony was obviously the aggressor. He threw heavier kicks. He scored more points from what I could see and landed cleanly. I don't think George did very much at all. I'm not sure if he scored. He definitely needs to come out and put some work in the second round. But the advantage of this scoring system is that you can lose 2 rounds and still come out dominate in round 3 and win the fight because it is cumulative on points. Remember, there is no 10-point must system here. It's cumulative points. Scoring points in this is difficult. A 4-2 score for a round is pretty standard. If you're in the red corner with George, you got to tell him to be more aggressive. You got to tell him get on his horse, start flipping his jab out there, and get aggressive because right now he's not doing anything to score points. Let's see if Anthony can follow up. Anthony is in the blue. George is in the red. George is being more aggressive moving forward, but his hands aren't moving, so he's just walking into kicks. It was illegal for Anthony to grab that foot. It's illegal to catch kicks. We have another equipment malfunction. Coming off the restart, George needs to get aggressive. He needs that jab, and he's just walking into kicks. He's not using any angles. He's walking straight forward. You got to step on an angle. You got to create your opening. Anthony's taking advantage of what's being put in front of him. He's got a static target, and he's just teeing off. George needs to get his boxing working. He's really not doing much. He's not doing anything to score points. That leg kick landed. But right now he's just simply being outpointed. He's getting beat up. He's walking forward without moving anything. You got to stick that jab out there. That helps you measure your distance. You can find your kicks. You can find your opponent's chin. He needs to be active with his hands, especially in this style. That really weighs heavy in this style. Anthony feels able to make those spinning kicks and those fancy moves because George is not doing anything to stop him. Those leg kicks add up. We call that money in the bank. You land those leg kicks and the first couple don't hurt, but after that, it gets hard to step. It gets hard to move forward. It gets hard to lift your leg off the ground. Nice combination by George, left, right. It's another round I think George gave away. I'm not sure if this is his strategy or if he's just having trouble finding openings, but if he wants to stay undefeated, he's need to come out aggressive. He's going to need to get that jab working, land some punches, and follow it up with the kicks and do some damage. He's got to just kind of throw wild this round. He needs points. It's the only way he wins is points or a knockout. On the flip side with Anthony, in my opinion, he's clearly winning the fight, but he can't sit back and rest. He's got to stay busy. He doesn't want to get outpointed in this round because 1 point is all you need to win. So he needs to stay active, he needs to stay busy, and he needs to keep moving forward and landing. Here we go, round 3. Nice show of respect there. Right off the jump, Anthony right back to it. George knows he's in trouble. He's got to come forward, but those hands are still not active enough. Anthony's going to keep backing up if he can. He wants to make George come to him so he can land. Right now he's walked himself into a corner, and George needs to take advantage of that and start letting him fly. Got to let those hands go or you're not going to win this fight. Good combination by George. Overhand right by Anthony, excuse me. He grabbed the kick and pulled it. That's illegal. Second warning. Not official warning, but second time he's been talked to. Good left hand to the chin. Anthony's doing what he wants. George has really got to do something. He's got him on the ropes. He's got to pressure him. Just like this, he's got to get in. He's got to get aggressive. He's got to land. He's got to do something. Big right hand. Another big right hand. He's got to get busy. He's not doing enough to score the points. It's to Anthony's advantage to have these lulls in the action. There we go, fireworks at the end. Get all the points you can. You never know what's going to happen. Good matchup, good fight. I think Dorya wins this one, but you never know. It's a point situation.
Shorts and a t-shirt? Whatever I got in my car is what I'm going to take with me. Show up looking like a pro, who cares? Set the standard. What day are you off next week? I don't have days off. I work 7 days a week. But I can make time. Whenever you guys want to do some power stuff. Yep.
Scores coming into the judges. We're getting ready to turn it back over to ring announcer Jeff Way for the final result. Equipment malfunction there. The ring announcer forgot to bring his mic. Very, very necessary tool.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have another big round of applause for these warriors. An amazing 3 rounds of action. We go to the judges' scorecards. Your winner by majority draw. Out of the blue corner, Dorya.
Well, I'm 2 for 2 on the night. I don't know if you were able to hear that, but he just shouted out to his brother Andrew. Anthony came out and did what he came to do. Got the result he was looking for.
Fight fans, we're going to keep the action going. Are you ready for another fight? Are you ready for another fight? Make some noise. This is New Mexico versus Hawaii. Welcome to the blue corner, Michael Simmons.
Michael Simmons is actually coming out of the red corner. Michael Simmons is 19 years old. He's making his debut today. He's fighting out of Rosales Kickboxing in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's been training for about 3 to 4 years. He loves to laugh and he likes positivity. He tries to stay positive, keep everybody in his life in a positive note. He wants to send a shout out to Nate Physical Therapy and Acute U. Excuse me, I apologize. He likes to fight and his shout out is to no one. I got my notes mixed up there. Please forgive me. His philosophy is FAFO, and I think you know what that means. He has some boxing experience. He's definitely looking forward to using his hands today, so we'll see how that goes.
And by correction, now we will welcome his opponent to the blue corner. Wesley Schrafer Kuapahi.
Awakai Kuapahi, coming from Waimea, Hawaii. He's been training for 2 to 3 years in MMA. He also does kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. He loves canoe paddling competitively. He shout out to his sponsors, and he's got a lot of them. We got Umi Store, Kauai Koke Cabins, Kauai Vehicle Center, Wrangler Steakhouse, Dabu's Shop, Makana Training Center, Nakoa Martial Arts and Training, and Aloha Arena Nalu. Please forgive me if I massacred those names. It's a long, expensive flight from Hawaii, so Kuapahi is looking for some action today. I asked him, I said, how'd you get so many sponsors? He said, the island looks out for each other. It's expensive to get here, and he got the help that he needed. 29 years old, making his debut today.
arts and training by way of Waimea, Kauai. He is Alkai Wesley Schrankford Kuapahi. His opponent across the ring out of the red corner. He wears the all-black trunks, standing 6 feet 1 inches tall, 138.8 pounds on the scale. This is his debut into the Golden Cobra ring. He represents Rosales Kickboxing by way of Las Lunas, New Mexico. Introducing Michael Simmons.
I'm looking for fireworks in this one. Big right hand right out the jump by Michael Simmons. Kuapahi seems to come out a little bit slow. He looks a little stiff. He's starting to open up. Simmons with that hands down style. It's opening up for some head kicks. We'll see if Kuapahi can find that. We've got a tight kickboxing style versus a very loose kickboxing style. Solid leg kick. Simmons switching his stances, staying loose with his hands, a little bit more fluid. Kuapahi very stiff, very solid kickboxing stance, I should say. Both men staying busy, both men working. Solid right hand by Simmons. He looks to feel more confident in the boxing area. Kuapahi winging wide punches, very stiff. They look hard, but they don't look like they have any snap on the end of them. When your punches are too stiff, you're really just pushing, and you're not getting that explosion you need at the end to do the real damage. The stiffer you are, the harder it is to generate power. That was a good first round, but I got to give that one to Simmons, in my opinion. We'll see if the judges score it that way. Remember, this is not a 10-point must system. This is cumulative, so nobody's going to know what happens till the end. If you're talking to Kuapahi between rounds, in my opinion, you got to tell him to relax a little bit, loosen up, and become more fluid. Use that boxing. Kuapahi looks slow. Okay, we have a timeout for a potential low blow. Referee is calling time. Let's see if we give him the full 5 minutes. That might be the blow that slows Simmons down. He's got fluid, good foot movement, footwork. He may, this may affect him. We'll find out. kicks by Kuapahi look just forced. They don't look natural. They don't look smooth. It's hard to tell how much force he has behind him, but it just doesn't look like there's a lot of snap. Yeah, Kuapahi looks very stiff. He's not able to respond in a timely fashion. He takes those body shots. His response is too slow. It looks like Simmons is starting to chop that body down. Got to walk forward with your jab. You're just walking forward with your guard up, and you're walking right into shots. Simmons definitely has the better footwork, is more fluid. If he hadn't slipped, that head kick might have been way more solid. Standing right in front of a fighter with your hands down is dangerous, but Simmons is letting Kuapahi get away with it. A lot more action out of Kuapahi in that round, but I'm not sure how much of that scored and landed cleanly. I don't think Simmons did very much that round either, so in my opinion, it's a little difficult to score who won that one. I think I'll give it on Kuapahi for effort, but I don't know how many of those blows actually scored. So if you're talking to Simmons between rounds right now, in my opinion, you got to tell him to get very active, start using his hands more. He's already using his footwork, but he needs to be a little more effective. He needs to make sure he scores the points, because right now that fight's up in the air. There's no way to know who's winning, and you can't let the show close like that. So you have to go out, be aggressive, get nasty, and start throwing some shots. Let's see how Kuapahi responds. Nice body shot to start. He's definitely a little sketchy defending those blows. He's flinching a little bit. I think Simmons feels that, and that's why he's so relaxed. He does have the better hands. He's a little more fluid. Kuapahi looks to be the stronger athlete, but so far that's not playing a factor at all. For a debut fight, Kuapahi's doing a really good job. This is the kind of thing that happens in a debut fight. You're a little bit stiff, not necessarily sure how to play it. And, I think he's doing a good job. He just needs to be a little more aggressive, a little bit more effective. Simmons is starting to pour on the heat. Kuapahi's starting to wilt a little bit. Let's see how he responds. Referee warning for pushing off after the break. See, Simmons should have let his hands fly there. He could have landed a few jabs, maybe even a head kick. I think he's taking for granted that he's got the better strikes and he's ahead, but it's really hard to say. Nice head kick. Nice solid head kick. That definitely scores. Do they finish with fireworks? Another head kick. Nice head kick by Simmons. This one was hard to score, but I'm not sure Kuapahi did enough to take the victory, but we'll see. That second round was kind of in the middle. I think Simmons definitely took the third round, but it's hard to tell for sure what scored, so we will see. Scorecards are coming into the official. We're getting ready to hand it over to your ring announcer, Jeff Way. Jeff Way, the tallest ring announcer in the world at 6'8". If you happen to have a bow tie fetish, he has a lot of bow ties, various colors. I think Michael Simmons is going to get the judgment here, but we'll see.
Fight hands, another great fight. There was a full 3 rounds of action. Let's give these guys a round of applause. We go to the judges' scorecards. Your winner by unanimous decision out of the red corner, Michael Simmons.
That's the first victory we've had out of the red corner tonight. Congratulations, Michael Simmons.
Please remember, take care of your bartenders and your servers. Fill up your drinks. Tip the beautiful ladies back there. They work hard. Help me welcome to the blue corner, Michael Prieto.
Michael Prieto, training out of Peterson's Grapplers in Valencia, California. He's 29 years old. He's making his debut. He's been training about 2.5 years. He started training with his cousin, and then they went and found a gym, and the rest is history. He has a podcast called Plugged with Mike, and his shout out is to all his supporters, his gyms, and everyone that helped him get by. You can find Mike's podcast at PMWPOD. Damian Lopez is 20 years old, making his debut out of Ethos Martial Arts in Queen Creek, Arizona. He's only been training about 6 months in kickboxing, and he feels he's ready to make his debut. He wants to go pro. His hobby, believe it or not, is building Lego Millennium Falcons, and he reenacted the first 3 Star Wars movies in Legos. And I mean the 3 good ones, not the prequels. He wants to send a shout out to Ethos Martial Arts, his family, and his friends, and he'd really like some more Legos for Christmas this year, guys. He's got more movies to make.
Introducing your next matchup, ladies and gentlemen, scheduled 3 2-minute rounds in the 185-pound men's division. And of course, again, Tom Henniger, your referee. Out of the blue corner, he wears the black and gold trunks, standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, 186.1 pounds. He is having a debut into the Golden Cobra ring. He represents Peterson's Grapplers by way of Santa Clarita, California. Introducing Michael Prieto. His opponent across the ring out of the red corner. He wears white with black trim trunks at 6 feet even, 183.7 pounds on the scale. This is his debut into the Golden Cobra ring. He represents Ethos Martial Arts. By way of Torres, California, introducing Lopez.
Ethos Martial Arts out of Queen Creek, Arizona versus Peterson's Grapplers of Valencia, California. Damian Lopez in the red, Michael Prieto in the blue. These boys are a little bit bigger, so we see a little bit more heavy. Nice kick to the body started off. Lopez taking it to him. Prieto's just a little bit off. He keeps missing. Lopez lands. Prieto follows up with a miss. A little bit wild in these exchanges. That's what Prieto needs to do. Put him on the ropes and start punching him up. Heavy kick by Lopez. We're having another wardrobe malfunction. These shin guards seem to have some problems today. All right, Prieto's adjusted. Let's get back to action. Another Southpaw versus Orthodox matchup. Stand in the pocket, exchanging fire. I like that, but Prieto's got to get a little bit busier. There we go. Back him up, put him on the ropes. Prieto landing a few shots, getting aggressive. Back Lopez up into the corner. He maybe can land some shots, score some points. At the end of that round, Prieto was backing up Lopez, which in a normal situation that would mean something to the judges, but in this particular case that has no bearing whatsoever. Fighters moving forward and backward did not count in the judges' eyes. It's all about the cumulative point scoring. If you're in the blue corner with Prieto, I think you got to tell him to let his hands fly a little bit more. He's got to use his size. He's a little bit bigger fighter. When he gets Lopez on the ropes, he's got to take advantage of that. Lopez has to keep moving, stay off the ropes out of the corner. He's got to use his quickness to counter or get off first. If he can get off first, evade the counter, and then strike again, I think he's going to be in good shape because he really needs to accumulate those points. So we'll see how it works out here in the second round, but I think it's Lopez's job to stay on his horse and keep moving, and Prieto's got to trap him in the corner somehow, or at least on the ropes, put his body on him, use his size. We're having another equipment malfunction in the corner. Right away, Prieto's using his size. Good counter right hand off the kick. Prieto's got to get off the ropes. He's got to switch position, put Lopez on the ropes. Lopez is the smaller, quicker fighter. You got to trap him and keep him from moving. Definitely letting their hands go a little bit more this round. I like to see that. That's what Prieto needs to do. Put him on the ropes, use his size, and strike. We have another equipment malfunction, so we have another timeout. This is issued equipment by the organization. This equipment is not owned by the fighters, so it doesn't necessarily fit exactly the way that it should. Good left hand by Lopez. Prieto needs to get his back off the ropes. There's a lot of action, but not necessarily a lot of scoring. Prieto gets off the ropes with a knee. And now we're in a clinch situation. Ten seconds. They got to fire. They got to let it fly. Score as much as you can before the end of the round. I think Lopez got the better of that exchange, but both men are showing fatigue. So we'll see if they come on the third round, what kind of energy they have. But Prieto definitely needs to use his size. Lopez needs to stay on his horse. I think Lopez outscored him that round, but Prieto did land some clean shots. So we'll see how the judges saw it. I think the conversation in both corners right now is making sure that your stamina holds out. You need to keep moving, but you need to find a way to score. Pick your shots. You know, like I say, Lopez needs to keep on his horse. Prieto needs to cut the ring off with his footwork. Let's see if he has the stamina to do it. Right off the jump, Prieto closes the distance, tries to shut off the ring. Keep Lopez in one spot. Good exchange there. Lopez landed some shots clean. This is exactly what Prieto needs to do. He needs to stay on him. He needs to keep throwing and keep landing. Slow Lopez down. Don't let him use his agility and his quickness. You can definitely see the fatigue on Lopez. Prieto doesn't look as tired, but you know he's sucking wind. Right there, keep him on the ropes, keep him in the corner, land your shots, wear him down. You're the bigger man. And Lopez is showing fatigue. I think Prieto needs to keep going just like this. He's got him in the corner. Lopez is not actively moving. This could actually end up in a standing egg count if Prieto can land some shots. But right now, Lopez is just backing up. Prieto needs to stay on him, stay heavy. Lopez has to get that jab working to help slow Prieto down, but I don't think he has the gas for it. Both men are starting to suck wind pretty bad right now. Another timeout for equipment malfunction. I wonder if this is gamesmanship to catch their breath. Maybe it was a low blow. I did not see a low blow. Here we go. Prieto with a big uppercut right hand. Lopez cannot let Prieto put his weight on him. If he gets him here, he's gonna punish him. Lopez has got to stay moving. He's back to the center of the ring now, but he's not doing anything but eating punches. I don't know how many of those are scoring punches, but they do take your gas away. Nice exchanges on the inside. Prieto's holding on a little too long. We got 10 seconds left. They need to finish strong. Nice work. Nice work by both men. We'll see how the judges saw it. Scorecards are in. And once again, we turn it over to your ring announcer, Jeff Way.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Let's give these warriors a big round of applause. Big round of applause. These judges came to a tough split decision for your winner. Out of the red corner, Lopez.
Split decision. That means judges saw it differently, so there was a lot of blows that scored. And Split decision, that means it's a very close fight. So that was everything I thought it was going to be. I couldn't call the winner.
Fight fans, we are going to move along in our fight card. We don't need no intermission. We're going to keep going. It's time to welcome our sixth bout of the evening to the blue corner, Emmanuel Baruma.
Emmanuel Destroyer Baruma, 24 years old. He's got a record of 2-1. He fights out of Pro Athletics in Ciudad de Juarez, Mexico. He's an MMA fighter with 10 years of experience in kickboxing, 1 month. Pardon me, I said that wrong. He's an MMA fighter for 10 years, and he's been kickboxing for 1 month. That's right, 1 month, and he's already ready to get in the ring. He loves to swim, he loves biking, and he loves hiking. He's been a welder for 5 years, and he's shout out to his family and his teammates. Manuel has the nickname Destroyer, and he said he's going to show us why tonight.
And now, help me welcome his opponent to the red corner, Philip Simmons.
Philip Simmons out of Rosales Kickboxing in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's 21 years old. He has a record of 2-0. He's been in kickboxing for about 3 years, and he loves to play Modern Warfare too. He says he can take out anybody, anytime, anywhere, and he's not the guy who sits up in the tower sniping people. Shout out to his family and his friends for traveling here to see him. He's very excited to perform in front of you.
Introducing your next matchup in the 130-pound men's division, scheduled 3 2-minute rounds. Of course, your referee, Tom Henniger. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the multicolored trunks, standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, 129.6 pounds on the scale. He brings an experience record of 2 wins, opposite only 1 defeat. Representing Pro Athletes Gym by way of Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. Introducing Emmanuel Destroyer Baruma. His opponent standing across the ring out of the red corner. He wears the all-black trunks at 6 feet tall, 133.6 pounds on the scale. He's undefeated with 1 victory. He represents Rosales Kickboxing by way of Las Lunas, New Mexico. Introducing Philip Simmons.
If you can hear the crowd, Philip Simmons has a large backing here. His family traveled heavy. Another southpaw versus orthodox matchup. Baruma comes out hot. Simmons with a big head kick. Destroyer looks intense. Warning for grabbing the kick. Simmons looks like he's going to use that size and range to land those head kicks. If he uses his jab, keeps him at range, he might be able to find those head kicks all day. Baruman's going to have to get inside. If Simmons starts using that range, it's going to be a problem. Simmons likes that teep early. That'll take the gas tank away. Destroyer landing those heavy leg kicks. Those leg kicks will take your gas away too to keep you from moving. Keeps knocking them down. It's going to be harder and harder to get back up. Simmons is definitely not taking advantage of his range. He's got the long arms. He's got the long legs. That jab needs to be working. He's just picking his shot one at a time. That's not an effective way to win. The more he gets those legs kicked out from underneath him, the more his gas tank is going to empty, the harder it's going to be for him to keep throwing those kicks. It looks like Baruman's strategy. When Simmons kicks high, Baruma kicks low. Baruman's a little Wolverine in there. If you're in the red corner this round, you've got to tell Simmons to get active. You've got to make sure that that jab is out there. You've got to get him active with the boxing because those kicks are not getting the job done. And Baruman's just walking right into him and getting into the range that he needs to be in, and he's throwing his blows and he's being effective. I have to give that first round to Baruma. If you're in the blue corner, you tell him keep doing what he's doing. Just keep his hands up to avoid the head kick and get inside that range. That kick won't land. Those punches aren't going to be able to be there. All right, seconds out. Here we go, round two. Baruma inside, landing big shots. That range means nothing for Simmons if Baruma can live in his kitchen like that. Those kicks are definitely going to take its toll. Simmons walking in too close. That jab is not working at all. It's not even moving. His hands are getting low. He's going to eat those shots. We got a low blow. Referee is going to give the timeout. I don't think he saw it, but he's given the fighter the benefit of the doubt. All right, back to the action. Head kick right off the top by Simmons. He goes for a second. He's not effectively using his hands. Baruma is just inside. Those head kicks mean nothing if Baruma can just walk into him. Timeout neutral corner. Nope. We're back to the action. Baruma is definitely showing why he's the destroyer. Equipment malfunction timeout. This is where Simmons needs to get his jab just pumping so he can follow it with kicks. He is getting beaten up on the inside. And now he's stuck in the corner with Baruman's got a hold of him. Smart move holding on, getting a break. But he does not want to end up in the corner. He needs to be in the center of the ring. He needs to be working his jab. He needs to be using his range. And that range has meant literally nothing in this fight so far. And now you got Simmons reaching. Yeah, Simmons is on his heels. The destroyer is moving forward. He's taking control of the fight. He's taking the momentum. And I think he's in Simmons' head a little bit. Simmons keeps throwing that head kick, but he doesn't set it up with anything. How does he expect it to land? He's throwing it. You can see it coming from a mile away. He's got to do better. If you're in the red corner this round, you got to tell him those hands need to pump. You need to be active. You need to throw everything you've got because you are losing, and you're losing probably pretty big. Destroyer, you got to keep moving forward, coming out of the blue corner. Keep staying in his kitchen. Stay inside. Land those punches. He's letting you inside. You got to get in there, and you got to take advantage of it. Round 3. Let's see what these guys are going to do. Once again, Simmons leaves with that head kick, but doesn't have any punches in front of it. And he finds himself in the corner with the destroyer going Wolverine on him. Those hands are too low. They've got to get up. They've got to start moving. Simmons is just a moving punching bag right now. Destroyer needs to work. He's got Simmons in the corner. He's got to take advantage of it. He's got to do something effective. Simmons wasting his time with those feints. He's not throwing anything, so those feints are not going to work. His hands have done almost nothing this entire fight. Looks like we lost a mouthpiece. Simmons' only chance at this point, in my opinion, is to get a finish, but he's not active enough to get the finish, so I'm not sure how he's going to pull this one out. Nice head kick landing, but he followed it up with nothing, and he let it in with nothing. Destroyer once again inside, doing damage. Even if these punches aren't scoring, they are doing damage. They are wearing Simmons down, and it's making it impossible for Simmons to come back. Ten seconds. Let's see if they got fireworks. A telegraph spin kick. I think this one is a clear decision for Baruma, but we'll see how the judges saw it. If you're in Simmons' corner, you got to be disappointed he didn't use that range. He fought a tough fight. He definitely put up a show. You know, he's not a weak kid. He's talented young man. He's got a bright future, but he's got to get a little more active. You know, he's got a 2-0 record. You'd think he'd have that experience, but you know, Destroyer just put it on him today. So we'll see if the judges saw it the same as I did.
Fight fans, you got to give these guys a big round of applause. This was a David and Goliath battle. They left it all on the ring. And we have a winner by unanimous decision. Out of the blue corner, Maduros Dorya.
Winner by unanimous decision, Emmanuel Baruma. He put on the show. He went in and he was the Destroyer today, and he got the job done. Increases his record to 3-1 while dropping Philip Simmons to 2-1.
Fight fans, we're going to keep this thing going. I hope you're having yourselves a good time. Enjoying the food. Take care of your bartenders, your servers. We put a lot of hard work. These are hand-picked matchups. And this next one, you do not want to miss this one. This is going to be a banger. Help me welcome to the blue corner, Ty Brown.
Ty Brown fighting out of Peterson's Grapplers of Valencia, California. I wasn't able to catch up with him before the fight, so I don't have any stats on him, but Peterson's Grapplers have put up a good show today, so I'm expecting something out of him.
Let's welcome his opponent to the red corner, Fernando Flores.
Fernando Flores fighting out of Pro Athletics out of Ciudad Juarez in Mexico. He's 26 years old and he's 4-1. He's got 10 years of boxing under his belt. He's been kickboxing since he was 18, and he listens to salsa music. That's his favorite. He's a simple man with a simple plan. He wants to send a shout out to his family in Juarez, Mexico, and his team at Pro Athletics.
Introducing your 7th round of the evening schedule, 3 2-minute rounds, and this is in the 170-pound men's division. Your referee, of course, Tom Henninger. Introducing first, your warrior to my left, out of the blue corner. He wears the blue and gold trunks, stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, 167.8 pounds on the scale, an impressive amateur record. Three wins, opposite only 1 defeat. He represents Peterson's Grapplers by way of Santa Clarita, California, USA. Next to Torres for time. Back to Brown. His opponent standing across the ring out of the red corner. He wears the green trunks, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall. 169.6 pounds on the scale, an impressive record. 4 wins, opposite only 1 defeat. He represents Pro Athletes Gym by way of El Paso, Texas, USA. Introducing Fernando Flores.
170-pound matchup. We could see some good power out of these guys over here. We got another southpaw versus orthodox matchup. Brown comes out very aggressive. Flores is backed in the corner. Brown appears to have the advantage with the aggression and the power. We'll see if Flores can respond. He's got to get his hands moving. You hear me say that a lot, but this particular style of fighting requires good boxing. We haven't seen a lot of boxing tonight.
There is no purse on this. This is amateur fighting. These fights don't.
Flores trying to
No
push forward and
purse.
find an opening, but Brown
Just amateur
Flores
fights.
come in and counters.
Actually,
Nice
I don't
left hook
commentate.
by Flores.
I just produce.
They're not
I
gonna
produce
count that as
these
a
events. I stream, broadcast, manage them, distribute them. Then
Right
the
back to work.
guys, I'll have random guys that want to commentate.
Flores in the corner. Brown being the aggressor,
Nah,
but
this
Flores
ain't.
really needs to come back. Side
Some of
kick to the
these
body.
some of these fighters do fight on Team USA though. There's a couple in here that fight on
Flores is
Team
not using
USA.
his hands at all, which common theme. You can't just
But my
walk into
buddy
punches
that's
without using your
commentating,
hands.
he's been commentating.
You're going
He
to
would
eat
just
big
practice,
shots
so
like
he's
that.
like
In
new.
a
I think
point
this is
game
probably
like
like one of
this
his
is,
first
it's
or
really
second times
difficult to eat
commentating.
shots and come back for a victory. Ten seconds, you got to finish around with fireworks. Flores goes for the head kick that doesn't score. Good trade on scoring punches right at the end. If I'm in Brown's corner, I'm telling him to stay aggressive, but he needs to measure his
appreciate you.
cardio, make sure he doesn't gas himself out. He's throwing the bigger, the heavier shots. He's being more aggressive. I think he's landing more.
Where y'all at? Where y'all
Flores is kind of
from?
waiting. He's walking into punches, hoping to get
What
close,
state are y'all
but
from?
he's got to use his hands.
We
to
travel
get in
all
there.
over. We
He's gotta
do
counter
events all over
Brown's
the
hands with his own hands. He's got to
U.S.
counter punch. Right now, he's just walking into punches and he's eating shots. He's not doing
We're
much.
getting ready to hit some new markets too. So I'm just Jersey. Well, yep, already been there. Matter of fact, we produce the A7FL football. Their headquarters is in New Jersey. Ashbury. We go to Ashbury Park.
Round two. Let's see what adjustments have been made.
New Jersey in the house.
Brown right back to work. Warning for grabbing the kick. Flores is definitely throwing some heavy leather, but Brown's backing him down. Flores is swinging wild. I don't think he has a plan. Brown's measuring his shots. Flores is letting him pick those shots. That was nice timing on that low kick. Nice combo by Flores. Brown counters back with short punches and a couple scoring
Let's
kicks.
see.
Another scoring kick.
I think it'll probably be next year.
Flores does not seem aggressive
Or
enough
actually
to match up with Brown.
next year or towards the end of the year.
We're going to have a standing 8 count.
But right now, nothing's scheduled until next year. But we could end up going to Jersey if, because we're supposed to be going to Delaware. Like I think in September,
Back to the action.
somewhere like in the next like
Brown
2-3
needs to
months,
take advantage of that standing
and
8 count.
we might
Instead, he eats a big left hand from Flores.
end up going to Jersey if there's
Here we go,
something
Brown's
going
aggressive.
on
He's got
at
Flores
that
beaten
time
up on the
that
ropes.
we're out
He's
there
gotta
in
keep throwing.
Delaware.
He gets another standing 8 count. That's going to be very good for him. Flores is covering up. You can definitely see the gas tank on Flores starting to wane. Brown still looks very strong. Body shots by Brown to end the round.
So do you commentate,
In red corner,
Eric?
you got to tell Flores to get aggressive, and he's got to let his hands go. That's
Oh,
it's
thanks,
everything the
appreciate it,
same.
man.
Everything comes off the jab. Everything comes off your hands. If you want to land effective kicks,
Definitely.
you gotta throw your hands,
Also,
and he's not doing it. He's covering up.
we're working on
He's
some new
letting Brown
technology
throw.
to
If
integrate
he's
with our
letting Brown throw, he
broadcast
needs to interrupt him
that's
by throwing
going
back,
to
but he's not doing
allow
that. He's waiting till Brown stops
us
and
to
then tries to
have
recover, and by
remote
then, Brown's not
commentators
there
on some of
anymore.
our
Oh, he's
broadcasts.
throwing again. Flores definitely has to flip the
It makes it
aggression
more
switch here.
efficient as a company
If
because,
you're in Brown's corner, you tell him just keep doing what you're doing,
now
keep moving. You've
if
got
we have a
everything
team
working
of
for you, so keep
commentators
pushing,
or
keep pumping, and
people,
maybe
they
you'll
can
get
just
some knockdowns.
access an event from their home, even in some cases really on their phone, and could actually commentate during a live event. We'd have one person on site, managing the equipment, everything like that, and then the rest would be handled remote, all the graphics, commentating, everything else. So we're trying. So this is actually
Big kick to the body by
just the
Brown, followed by
beginning
a
of,
right hand to the face.
on the
Flores on the
lighter
ropes,
end of
swinging wild
testing this
again.
stuff out to get
That's part of the reason
towards
he just
that.
got tossed.
I really appreciate the
That was
like
an
and
illegal move by
subscribes.
Brown, but the only reason that worked is because Flores was going
I
wild.
appreciate y'all. Thanks, Eric, again. What's up? How you doing?
As you see again, Flores covers up and waits to get
How
hit
you
instead of
doing?
being the aggressor and throwing punches. Brown's got him on the ropes, but he lets him slide. Another side kick to the body. Flores is doing way too little for a point fight. Big head kick by Brown, swing and a miss. A straight teep to the body is working. Flores is showing it. Timeout for equipment malfunction. Back to the action. Another teep straight to the body. He's going to land that all day, and there's nothing Flores is doing about it, which means he's going to keep scoring with it, and it's going to keep taking his tank away. It's going to prevent Flores from making any type of comeback, and Flores needs a big flurry with a lot of points. I don't see that happening. Brown's doing damage even with his back to the ropes. Flores gets him in that position. He's got to take advantage, but instead he just backs up into the corner and waits to get hit. Brown has had the pressure on him right from the jump, so you can't blame Flores for being fatigued, but if he wants to win this fight, he's got to be more aggressive. He's running out of time. I don't think he can point it out. He's got to get a knockout. 10 seconds. How do they finish? Brown does a smart thing and does not firefight. That straight teep to the body works again. I'm going to have to give this fight to Brown. I think he took all 3 rounds clearly. And even though it's a cumulative point system, I feel like he won on points in all 3 rounds. Scorecards are in. We're getting ready to turn it back over to your ring announcer, Jeff Wade. I think it's a clear-cut unanimous decision for Ty Brown, but we'll see how the judges saw it.
That's good. Okay, everything goes all right?
Yeah.
Everything's good, car running good?
Yeah. That sounds great, man, Eric. We definitely, right now we're in the testing phase of it. We're actually going to be doing one of our first tests on the 29th. We got a guy from Colorado that's going to be doing one of our broadcasts from Arizona. So we're going to be sending signal from Arizona. Hey, C. Hey, C. Hey, I'm well. Hope you're doing well. How are you? But yeah, we're pretty active. We're pretty active, Eric. So we're doing shows. Every month. Sometimes we're doing stuff weekly, and that's just with combat sports. We got other sports as well. We're going to be doing girls softball real soon. We also do non-sports funerals. So we're pretty
Expected,
tapped
Ty
in all
Brown
over
was
the
the
place.
aggressor from start to finish. There was no way he loses that fight other than a knockout. Great performance by Brown. Fernando Flores put up a tough fight, but he just didn't put enough output to score the points he needed for the win.
think it's time for a girl fight. What do you think? Yeah. I've been anticipating this bout for a long time. And I know both these girls have trained very, very hard for this. Let's welcome our Golden Cobra ladies to the ring. To the blue corner, Annabella Powell.
Annabella Powell, 19 years old, fighting out of Pearson's Grapplers in Valencia, California. She has a record of 4-2. She has 2 years of experience with karate and kickboxing, 1 year with Muay Thai. She's a communications major at UCLA. She loves to bake and cook. Her specialty is bread and pasta, but she loves to make cookies. She also likes reading. Shout outs to Sugarfoot, her corner men, her gym. Forgive me if I slay this name. Yakubian Muay Thai Academy. Her family and friends back home. Her mom, her dad, her sister, and she's grateful for all the support. She wants to come out here tonight and put on a great show.
Let's welcome her opponent to the red corner, Megan McNeel.
Megan McNeel, 32 years old, out of Rise Combat in Tucson. She has a record of 6 wins and 7 losses, and her Thai nickname is Sugar Palm. She's been training about 4 years. She's a Peace Corps volunteer in Thailand, which is what got her into Muay Thai and got her into kickboxing, which I think that's extremely interesting. And she was shout out to Rise Combat. I was impressed with both of these young ladies when I spoke with them. They're very soft-spoken, very nice, but they are down for business. So I'm expecting to see some fun out here today. These girls are going to get down.
Introducing the 8th matchup of the evening, scheduled 3 2-minute rounds, and this is in the 120-pound female division. Of course, your referee in charge, Tom Henniger. Introducing first, your fighter to my left out of the blue corner. She wears the cheetah print trunks at 5 feet 6 inches tall, 119.5 pounds on the scale, an impressive practitioner. 4 wins, opposite only 2 defeats. She represents Peterson's Grapplers by way of Los Angeles, California, USA, Annabella Powell. Her opponent stands across the ring out of the red corner. She wears the multicolored trunks at 5 feet 7 inches tall, 119.2 pounds on the scale, an impressive practitioner. 6 wins, opposite only 7 defeats, representing Rise Combat Sports out of Tucson, Arizona, USA, Megan McNeel.
This one should be fun. These ladies are here to be serious. Powell right out of the box. McNeel is stalking her down. That teep is landing early. Powell landing effective shots straight to the face. We got a clinch situation, one knee, and we got to break it up. Timeout. Another equipment malfunction. Powell straight out, throwing the straight left hand, followed by a kick. McNeil's trying to clinch, get that one knee. Powell's landed shots in the meantime. Powell looks to be the more aggressive, but McNeel looks to be the one who wants to move forward. Powell striking effectively while backing up. McNeil's moving forward, but she's moving forward into shots. You can see she's got a little Muay Thai habit. She keeps grabbing the leg. In this organization, that can get you disqualified if you do it too much. And it's automatic if you're training other sports. Nice body kick by Powell. McNeil follows up with a clinch and a knee. Got timeout for yet another wardrobe malfunction. It appears that the blue corner is having the most trouble with the equipment today. Once again, that teep lands to the body. Powell can land that effectively and really take away McNeil's ability to fight back. McNeil keeps grabbing that kick. She's going to get in trouble for that. You can see the referee shaking his head. Straight right hand by Powell puts McNeil down, but it's not being counted as a knockdown. If you're in the red corner with McNeil, it's hard to tell her to get rid of her instincts and stop. Grabbing that leg because at some point she's going to get hit with a penalty. If you're in Powell's corner, I think you just got to tell her keep doing the same thing. She's striking effectively, backing up. You don't want to back up too much, but if you're landing and scoring blows, you know, don't fix it. Straight teep to the body once again. Head kick follow-up by McNeil. Powell comes back with fireworks. These ladies are starting to exchange. I think McNeil got the message. No clinch work allowed. McNeil keeps walking straight into that body kick. How many of those can you take before it really takes you down? She just received a warning for grabbing the leg. The ref is being very lenient. She's done it about 5 or 6 times. If Powell's smart, she'll keep throwing that kick and get McNeil to grab it again and possibly get her docked a point. McNeil has to be more aggressive. She's moving forward. She's still grabbing the leg. It's a habit. It's really hard to break out of when you train like that. But she's eating punches right now. She's moving forward effectively, but Powell is landing. McNeil seems a little bit stiffer with her striking. A little bit more telegraphed. Powell just needs to keep doing what she's doing, but McNeil has to find a way to be effective. Another timeout. We're having an equipment malfunction with the headgear in the blue corner. Those straight kicks to the body are landing all day for Powell. They are definitely taking away the stamina from McNeel. She doesn't show it yet, but you know it's happening. That hugging clinch prevents any action from happening because you're not allowed to work the clinch. Round 2, I think, goes to Powell. I think she's got to keep doing what she's doing. I think she effectively won that round. Sorry, I got cut off by the replay there. As I was saying, McNeel needs to come out a little bit more aggressive. She's not using her hands enough. She is throwing down. I'm not going to say she's not, but she's not matching the output of Powell. And right now, that's the problem. Powell looks smoother. She looks looser. She looks faster. And she's just throwing more blows. We got fireworks in the corner. This is what McNeel needs. She needs to stay aggressive. She needs to stay after it. Yet another wardrobe malfunction. The upside is it gives McNeel a chance to recover. McNeel really needs to throw some fireworks here. She's got to come after it. She needs to lead with those hands. She just got her hands down. She's wide open. It's a very basic approach to those kicks, and that is not going to work with her opponent. Powell is too aggressive. She's throwing too many hands. And McNeel needs to land those body shots. Every point counts. McNeel is eating those punches because she's not throwing any of her own. She's trying to land that one kick. Now we got another timeout for a wardrobe malfunction. I think the ref should have let that one go. That takes the advantage away from McNeel. She was just turning it to her favor. McNeel holding and hitting. That's illegal. That's considered a clinch. McNeel's hands are wide open, so those straight shots are coming right down the pipe, and she's not responding, and she's not leading with those shots. She should have walked in there with the jab. Come in behind the jab with that kick. Those body shots are scoring, but it may be too little too late at this point. Nice kick attempt by Powell. McNeel is doing what she's got to do, walking her down, but her hands are not loose. I don't think she's done enough to win this fight. I think this is going to be for Powell unless McNeel can finish. That was a good fight for both ladies. I think Megan McNeel put out a good effort, but she wasn't able to match the energy of Powell. I have to give this fight to Powell. I think it was a really good matchup, but I think we're going unanimous decision for Powell. Let's see if the judges agree with me.
Fight fans, hell yeah. These girls left it all in here. Good job, ladies. Full 3 rounds of action. The judges have come to a unanimous decision for your winner out of the blue corner. Powell.
Well-deserved victory by Anna Powell. She worked hard for it. She was the aggressor. She had the output. She scored the points. Well done. Next fight of the evening is the co-main event, and it's also a title fight.
Fight fans, it's time for the co-main event of the evening. That's right, these gentlemen are competing for the 115-pound Golden Cobra Promotional Championship title. Help me welcome your first competitor to the blue corner, Ricardo Ramirez.
Ricardo Ramirez, 36 years old, fighting out of Pro Athletics in Juarez, Mexico. He has a record of 7-3. He's known as El Torito, the baby bull. He's been training since he was 5 years old. He had his first fight when he was 6 years old. He's a full-time dad with 3 kids and 1 on the way. He's got 2 girls and a boy and another daughter heading this way soon. Shout out to his beautiful wife, Alejandra, his kids, his family, and his team. Special message, Viva Juarez. Little wardrobe issue at ringside. They didn't have gloves ready for the fighter. It's going to take a minute. They're using the tie-up gloves this time as opposed to the Velcro. So they have to get them on, get them tied up, and get them taped. So it's going to take a minute. Bryce McDaniel's 36 years old with a record of 12 wins, 13 losses, and 1 draw, fighting out of 520 Muay Thai in Tucson, Arizona. He's known as the Ring Breaker. He's got 10 years of training. He took 4 years off when his daughter was born. He's a full-time dad to a 6-year-old. And he's shout out to Team 520 Muay Thai. Thank you for your time and your attention. Bryce McDaniel's a very experienced warrior. I expect him to come out here and show his skill level. He's got an opponent that's equal to him in age, but not in experience. And we'll see if that experience plays a factor. Once again, this is the co-main event of the evening, and it is a title fight. Shout out to Aunt Barb, Uncle Rick, and Sadie Girl. This should be a very exciting fight. We got two good warriors up for a title. Showcase co-main event of the evening. This is going to be interesting. Once again, they've got the tie-up gloves in the red corner, so it's taking a little longer for them to get the gloves on, tied up and taped. Adds to the anticipation of the moment. These long delays before the fight can work for or against a fighter. You can have an adrenaline dump, or you can get your head together and get all your nerves out of the way and get focused. So I personally am not a fan of the long delay.
Co-main event of the evening, folks, and it is for the 115-pound title. Introducing first, your fighter to my left out of the blue corner. He wears the multicolored trunks at 5 feet 2 inches tall, 115.7 pounds on the scale, posted only 3 defeats. Representing Pro Athletes Gym, he hails from Ciudad Juárez, Mexico. Introducing Ricardo El Torito Ramirez. This championship opponent standing across the ring out of the red corner. He wears the black gray trunks at 5 feet 2 inches tall, 117 pounds on the scale, an experienced fighter with 12 wins, 13 defeats, 1 draw. Representing 520 Muay Thai by way of Tucson, Arizona, USA, introducing Bryce Ring Breaker McDaniel.
So we've got Baby Bull in the blue corner and Ring Breaker in the red corner. Which one is going to impose their will today? Should be a very calculated technical fight. Both of these guys have plenty of experience. McDaniel in the red, Ramirez in the blue. Ramirez trying to work that low calf kick. Oh, head kick and spinning back fist by McDaniel. Not counted as a knockdown. Good follow-up by Ramirez. Baby Bull charging forward. It's going to be physical. Baby Bull charging in again. McDaniel staying cool under the pressure. This again is another situation where I feel like boxing needs to come into play. McDaniel lands that head kick and they both fall to the ground. They're standing in front of each other, looking at each other. Somebody's got to throw some hands. It's going to break the posture. It's going to make them move. It's going to open up for a kick or another strike. They're both waiting for an opening, and they're staring at each other. Baby Bull with a good combination. Wow, an attempted flying knee met with a spinning back fist. I was right. We are going to see some action. If I'm in Ramirez's corner right now, I'm telling him to keep doing what he's doing, but he's got to be a little more controlled. He's charging in like a bull, and he's getting the job done, but he's not landing as many clean strikes as I feel like he could. If you're talking to McDaniel, McDaniel's got to get moving. He's got to olay those bull charges, get to the side, and counter with some strikes. And once again, as I preach, we got to get the boxing going. We got to get those hands moving. Those jabs need to work. Everything comes off the jab. If you're not throwing a jab, it's a lot harder to land anything else. Baby Bull living up to his name, just throwing. Grab the leg there, a little illegal action. See if McDaniel can take the momentum back. He's definitely been the more controlled fighter, the most contained fighter. Baby Bull's gone off a little bit, but I don't think either of them have landed effectively, but they both have landed some nice shots. McDaniel gets him in the corner, throws a knee. Baby Bull's complaining it landed to the head. We have a timeout. That is considered an illegal knee, but it's a matter of whether the referee saw it that way. Standard is 5 minutes to recover, but the doctor's in the corner. He's going to check for injury. Referee's calling him into the ring. Definitely don't want the fight to end on an illegal blow. The ref is allowing 2 minutes for recovery. Once again, a reminder, in WAKO kickboxing, in the K1 style that we're using here, there are no knees allowed to the head. You can throw kicks to the entire body, you can throw knees to the body, but there are no knees to the head, and there are no elbows at all. I saw the knee land. I can't tell if it landed on his forehead or his nose or jaw area. I think he said it landed on his forehead. Doctor evaluating the situation right now. He's giving a long rest break for both fighters. Concern here is that the fighter, Ramirez, may have gotten a concussion. If he's wobbled at all, he can actually say he's not willing to continue, or he can't continue if the doctor decides his vision isn't proper, in which case McDaniel may be disqualified, or they may call it a no contest. Referee talking to the red corner, giving McDaniel's corner some instructions. I'm not sure what the situation is right now or what the decision's going to be. It doesn't look like they're going to let him continue. They're calling his cornermen in. This would be a terrible way for a title fight to end. I didn't see him check his eyes or anything like that, so I don't think he's suffering from vision. He might be playing it up. It might be gamesmanship, might be a way to get the W, but I don't think either of these Warriors want to go that route. Checking for physical damage or a cut. Looks like it landed on the top of his head. Officials are speaking with Ramirez right now. Looks like the fight's going to be called off. Looks like this fight is over, ladies and gentlemen. Ramirez does appear wobbly. Clearly there was some damage done. It's a terrible way for a fight to end, but sometimes that happens. One fighter throws a knee, the other fighter's putting his head down, and it just lands. I'm sure it wasn't intentional. I mean, both fighters know it's against the rules, but it's a terrible way for a fight to end, especially a fight that was this competitive. Now let's see how they scored. Will it be a DQ, or will it be a no contest, or maybe a draw? I doubt they'll go for a draw, but we'll see. Ring announcer Jeff Way is about to bring the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, your co-main event comes to a dramatic close. Unfortunately, this team, a referee stoppage, no contest, due to an unintended illegal strike. Now, let's be grateful. Ricardo's okay. Bryce, you put on a great battle. And, you know, nobody wants to end a fight that way. You and I talked back and forth about this fight. You put in a lot of work for it. You got a lot of family, friends. best high hopes and blessings and prayers for Ricardo and his recovery. Bryce, we'll be seeing you again in this ring. Let's welcome our main event. It's time for the main event now. And this is a banger. This man has experience in winning in this ring. And he's going up against a viable competitor. Help me welcome to the blue corner,
Antonio Amador, 23 years old with a record of 2-2. His nickname is Asuka. He's out of Peterson's Grapplers and Globerdera Boxing. I apologize for murdering that name. He's been training for 4.5 years. He favors K1 in boxing as his style. He works construction with his dad, and he's got a sponsor at Hanson's Waterscapes, excuse me. He wants to be a pro fighter. He loves striking, so he wants to stand and bang. He's looking to put on a show today with some fireworks. Shout out to the mobile cameraman, Jackson Sterling. Main event brought to you by American Pitbull Karate. Once again, we have the delay with the tie-up gloves and tape. WAKO does not allow you to have your gloves on and ready before you get to the ring. It's their policy. They inspect your hand wraps, and then they put the gloves on.
Fight fans, it's time to turn this main event into a war zone. Jose Sanchez to the ring.
Jose Sanchez, 28 years old with a record of 8-3 out of Arizona Dragons. His nickname is Warzone. He's been training for 3 to 4 years. He loves to laugh and stay positive. Shout out to Nate Physical Therapy and Accent U. Jose likes to keep a smile on his face, and he says at the end of the night he expects to have his hand raised. For those of you who aren't sure, the previous bout, the co-main event, semi-main event, was ruled a no contest due to an illegal knee. The title will remain vacant. Once again, we have the equipment delay as they're tying and taping up all the gloves at ringside.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. This is the main event of the evening. We are scheduled 3 2-minute rounds, and this is for the 150-pound Golden Cobra promotional title. Introducing first, your fighter to my left. He wears the purple and black trunks at 5 feet 7 inches tall, 147.2 pounds on the scale. An even record, 2 wins, opposite only 2 defeats. He represents Peter's Grapplers by way of Santa Clarita, California. Introducing Antonio Azucar Amador. Kick the corner, across the ring, out of the red corner. He wears the black and white trunks, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 149 championship pounds on the scale. He has an impressive championship record, 8 wins, opposite only 3 defeats. Representing AZ Dragons MMA by way of Latin, Arizona, USA. He is a reigning PLA champion. Introducing Jose Torres.
This should be an interesting matchup. Jose Sanchez currently holds a title for the PFA, so he's already a title holder looking to add a second one to his trophy case. Antonio Amador, with a record of 2-2, doesn't quite have the experience, but he's definitely up for the challenge. So I look forward to some fireworks here. Southpaw versus Orthodox. They come out swinging. Amador has got Sanchez on the ropes early. Amador definitely looks to be the aggressor. Sanchez is waiting to get hit and then fire back, but right now he's throwing heavy blows, but nothing's landing. Big wide shots from Sanchez. Amador needs to settle in a little bit and use that energy to be a little bit more effective. Strong right hand by Amador. Sanchez puts Amador on the ropes, doesn't do anything with it. If he's throwing those big, heavy shots, he needs to throw them when his opponent can't move. So he gets him on the ropes or in the corners. That's when he needs to throw those. But he needs some straight shots down the pipe. He needs to lead in with that jab, as we always talk about. Sanchez is throwing big, heavy clubbing blows. So they land more like a club instead of an explosive punch. Big shot, left hand, right hand. It looked like a hook cross. Amador recovers. I wonder how long Sanchez is going to be able to go throwing those heavy shots like that. We have a timeout. We have another equipment malfunction in the blue corner. Yes, we do. That seems to be the theme for the night, blue corner equipment malfunctions. Sanchez throwing big, heavy shots, but not very effective. Set it up with a jab, then throw your big bombs. Those big looping punches, he's landing with his wrist, he's landing with his palm. Those are not even scoring zones, so they might not even be scored. End of the first round, it's hard to tell, but I think Antonio Amador has the advantage here. Sanchez is throwing hard and heavy, but he's not landing effective. Things he is landing with the palms, the wrists, the thumb. Those are not scoring zones. So we'll see how the judges saw it. But I think Amador just needs to settle in and keep doing what he's doing. He has the right game plan, in my opinion, but he hasn't quite settled into getting it done. Here we go, round two. Sanchez comes out a little bit quickly. Big shots by Sanchez. He's got to follow that up with some kicks or a knee. Amador says, bring it on, and then he gets knocked down. Another clubbing blow. That's the thing about clubbing blows. They will knock you off balance, and they can knock you down, but the ref saw it for what it was, and there's no 8 count. Big right hand by Sanchez. Amador counters with a couple right hands of his own. Sanchez is not throwing straight punches. Even that jab isn't really straight. He's winging things. He's not keeping his posture tight. He throws the left hand, the right hand goes out to the side. Amador can really find a way to exploit that if he gets his boxing going. In some competition, the big heavy shots that Sanchez is throwing they're going to score more, they're going to count for more. But here, every shot counts equally. Jumping front snap kick by Sanchez. Big overhand right followed by a left and a leg kick by Amador. Nice knee to the body. He's got him on the rope. Sanchez has to finish. That's exactly what you want to see out of Sanchez. Nice and aggressive at the end of the round. A lot of those punches didn't land, but it looked really good. If you're in Amador's corner, you got to tell him, start boxing, start boxing. You hear me say that over and over and over, but this is kickboxing. Boxing means something. If you're in Sanchez's corner, you got to wonder how much gas he's going to have if he can throw those big, heavy blows for the next 2 minutes. Third and final round. Nice body kick by Sanchez. He's trying to follow it up with that big, heavy right hand, but he's nowhere near landing. Amador still has gas in the tank. He's still moving. Keeps backing himself into a corner, which is not where you want to be with a guy like Sanchez, because if you can't move and he lands those big clubbing blows, he can put you to sleep. A big right hand's never going to land unless he lands something first. Amador with a little combination. Sanchez has him on the ropes, but his boxing is not adequate to get the job done. Amador starting to show his gas tank a little bit. Nice body shot. Solid leg kick that's scored. Big right hand over the top, swing and a miss yet again. If he lands that right hand, it could really do something, but it's coming from left field 5 miles away. You can see it coming. Amador backing up onto the ropes. That's going to be trouble. He's got to move side to side, stay off those ropes. He's giving Sanchez the chance to land that right hand. Good exchange on the ropes there. Not a lot of scoring blows. 10 seconds left. Let's see how they finish. They need to firefight right now. Every point matters. And we finish. I don't know how to score this fight, but if I'm going to score it, I would say Amador got it on points, but Sanchez threw a lot of big, heavy blows that just did not land. So we'll see if the judges see it the same way that I did.
As we come to a decision for our main event, we would like to let all of our fans know, please find us on Facebook, Golden Cobra LLC. Look forward to our next event. We're going to be having a Halloween-style event, Halloween Havoc, coming up in October. Look forward to new posters, new details, new matchups. As we come to a close for our main event, we want to thank each and every one of our fans for sticking around, buying a ticket, supporting local kickboxing here in Arizona.
All right, the scorecards are in. We're waiting for Jeff Way, your ring announcer, to come on in and let us know how things went.
Fight fans in attendance, we got to give a big round of applause to these guys. This main event lived up to being the main event. And the judges had to make a very, very tough decision for your winner by split decision. And now, the Golden Cobra 150-pound champion. Out of the red corner, Jose
Well, I got that one wrong, folks. By split decision, out of the red corner, Jose Sanchez. That's the thing about this game. You don't know what scores and what doesn't. So, excuse me. It's a matter of seeing the fight clearly, and the judges saw it a different way than I did. But either way, it was an excellent fight. Great matchup between these two young men. I look forward to seeing him in the ring again. And now Jose Sanchez has his second title to carry around.
Jose Sanchez. We seem to be sharing this winning circle quite a bit now, huh? You work hard, and you've gotten better. And the losses are losses that you learn from, and you're good at what you do. And you win that belt tonight. And I got a lot of love for you, and I'm proud of you this year. Any words from your friends and family?
Thank you for everybody that came by and watched. Put on a hell of a show. Much love to my opponent. He was solid. He's amazing. I'd love to fight again sometime. So, shout out to Nate Physical Therapy. And shout out to NTU, my sponsors. I love you guys. My coach, Max Olivas. All my people, my fans. Thank you so much. I love you.
Love you, bud. All WAKO officials and representatives, please see Sandy inside the ring. All WAKO officials, please enter the ring for your family photo.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the Bullseye Bash Best in the West. Golden Cobra Promotions and WAKO at Bull Shooters. Once again, we appreciate you joining us and having a good time. Bull Shooters host cornhole tournaments, pool tournaments, now kickboxing and boxing. Bullshooters_az.com. Your ring announcer, Jeff Way, on Instagram, JeffWay_ring announcer. And once again, myself, Joe Snell, bringing the action to you. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us.